Hey, what's good people? I am Al Jamil, your friendly neighborhood beatmaking instructor here at Point Blank Music School. And today I have another product launch that we're going to talk about from none other than Roland Cloud. Today we're going to be talking about the iconic, the RE-201 plugin. So let's dive in and have some fun. You're going to hear this sound on many different genres such as reggae, dub, trip hop, post-punk rock, experimental rock. It's iconic for its swelling and throbbing sounds. Bob Marley used it to get his signature sound. Introduced way back in 1960, and for our Roland Cloud Ultimate users, get it today. So let's dive in, have some fun, let's see what we can do with it. So here we are in this Afrobeat / dub reggae track that I put together. I have on my drums none other than my favorite drum machine, the Roland TR-808. And I have a sample that I split the stems to build the rest of this track. So without further ado, here's a track without any of the sauce. It's already a bop. Let's sauce it up with the RE-201 and see what we can do with it. I am going to add the RE-201 onto my snare drum. It's going to open that up and turn that on. We're going to close this expanded panel here. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So with the Space Echo, we have 3 playheads that we can have either 1, 2, 3, or 4 repeats. Or we can bring it into our reverb unit by itself, or we can combine them with any other playheads that are inside of the Space Echo. And we're gonna use our mode selector to be able to do that. But we can also just get started on some presets. But before we do that, let's look at some of the controls that we have. We have our VU meter, so that way we can see if we're clipping and what our levels are. We have 3 inputs that we can use. We can use a mic input, a PA input, and an instrument input. And all of them are gonna have different gain. So you're gonna get either some crunching, maybe some distortion, or some smooth, subtle delays and reverbs. From there, we have tone controls. We have bass, treble, and then our overall reverb volume. And then we have our repeat rate, how fast we're going to be able to do, the intensity, how deep that's going to be, and then our overall echo volume. And then we also have 3 different output settings. Again, we're going to season the taste and figure out which one's going to work best for our needs. I'm going to use the RE-201 Space Echo as an insert and going to throw that onto my snare, so that we can kind of get that dubby snare effect. And these presets that come with the plugin, so I'm gonna use a Snare Fun 8th dotted delay right directly onto my snare. Let's just go ahead and solo that and see what kind of snare fun we came up with. Woo! It's almost like those echoes go on forever. I love that sound. Let's put that in context with the rest of the drums. Let's use these tone controls. I'm going to add a little more intensity and a little bit less volume. Hitting right at the peak, so that looks good. You know what? I'm feeling a little adventurous. Let's go ahead and throw it on our hi-hats. Here's our RE-201, our Space Echo. I'm gonna dive back into those presets one more time. And we have a hi-hat dance. That's on that 30-second note. Let's see what this sounds like. Adds a little bit of dimension to our hi-hats. I'm gonna bring that volume down just so that way we don't muddy up the space. But I like it though. I like that. That sounds really good. From our bass, let's move on. Sorry. For my drums, let's move on to our bass. So here's my bass line without any sauce. It's really gritty, a little grungy, it's a little dirty, it's a little nasty bass. We're gonna drop in the RE-201, the space echo. And because we have a dirty synth bass, I'm gonna use this dirty synth bass preset. We're using our instrument input. And if I increase the volume of the instrument input, it's gonna get a little more distorted. So I can pull back on that. Add a little smoothness. Our reverb volume is down all the way. I'm gonna bring my echo just a little bit up. Bring that rate down a little bit. This we can add some width to our bass line. So here's a bass line width with the sauce, without the sauce. Let me know which one you prefer. Play that with the drums. All right, so for our next two instruments, we have a instrument loop that I soloed out of this sample that I acquired. Kind of dirty, aged up horn loop. And then on my return track, I have the space echo set up for us. And I'm using the stereo run preset at a 16th dotted delay. And I'm gonna send that over. And I'm using the send as a pre-fader effect. So I can have independent control from my actual fader and give a nice washed out spacey vibe right we have over here. Bring that fader down a little bit more. Play that with those other tracks. We got the vibe. We got the vibe. What I am going to do is I'm going to turn down that snare delay down a little bit. Next up, we have this vocal sample. It's all dried up. We're going to send it to the same delay. Just wash it out. Let's play it all together. And now we got a summer hit. Now we can call it a day. I want to vibe out to this a little bit. What about you? And there it is, the Space Echo RE-201 by Roland Cloud. We use it in two different ways. We use it as an insert on our snare and hi-hat, as well as our bass line. Then we also use it as a send effect, where we threw in our instrument loop and our vocal loop to get that nice pulsing, washed out effect. You almost have infinite delay. It seems like this delay never ends. And with this legacy, I hope it doesn't. It's my new favorite delay. I'm probably going to put it, it's going to be the sauce that I put on everything. If you enjoyed this video, then check us out at pointblankmusicschool.com. Be good, be creative, and I'll see you in the next video.